Hey guys, baydensinghyt here and welcome back to another fun speed build video on the channel. So in today's video, we're actually going to be renovating 330 Main Street that came in The Sims 2 Pleasantview. And it's actually for our Pleasantview series that we're currently doing on the channel. The idea, spoiler alert if you want to watch it, but basically Dina Caliente is buying all of the community lots, doing them up with her newly stolen money. That's a whole other issue. But yeah, so we're renovating 330 Main Street and I've got plans for all of the community lots in Pleasantview. I've sort of been thinking about it over quite a lot of time. Like I've just sort of been umming and ahhing about what I want to include in each lot. We've already done the Woodland Park renovation. And then this is the first one that we're sort of doing of the main like shopping kind of destinations. So I'm very, very excited for this one. So on this lot here, basically we want to try and obviously redo the ground area and have a nice, clothes shopping area for all of our Sims. I did want to add like the jewelry and the perfume stuff as well. Thought that was really important. And the idea is that I wanted to sort of make that outdoor patio area into sort of like a cafe-esque kind of vibe. That was sort of what we're going for. And I wanted to turn the upstairs area into a gym, just because I was just trying to think like what's sort of missing in Pleasantview, what could we sort of add, what would we really benefit from in terms of gameplay, like what would be something that we'd actually like enjoy doing or something that I want to do with my Sims. And that's obviously what the cafe jumped to mind. And then I thought for a bit of storytelling, the gym could be a bit of fun. Obviously like, going to the gym and like doing some workouts and all that sort of stuff. It was very confusing when because I recorded this stuff and then like I've got a new editing software and I don't know, it's just a bit confusing. I originally was using CapCut, now I've gone to DaVinci Resolve. And like I'm just concerned even now, I don't know if it's just my screen, but like the playback's like a little bit blurry, but like I exported it and it should be totally fine. I think it's fine. I think it's just maybe my screen because it's like going a bit fast while we're recording. But if worse comes to worse, if the video quality is not the best, I do apologize. This is my like sort of first time using this new software. And I normally do use the VLC player as well, but I'm just using the media player. I don't know if that makes a difference. I do see a lot of the other YouTubers using like the VLC player, so maybe the playback's a bit better, but who knows. Anyway, I'll probably start talking about the build now. That's a great idea because I've just been yapping. But basically what we were sort of doing before is I was toying up with an idea of sort of adding a entry for that gym. I wanted the gym to have a separate entry. So that's what we're doing over there on that side, doing the stairs and having a separate entry. And I thought that was a nice idea. Instead of having to walk through the clothing store to go to the gym, I just thought that added an extra layer and just made it a little bit more functional. I was also toying up with moving that balcony. I don't know if you guys saw that at the start. It didn't quite work because I was thinking of having the entrance from that balcony, if that made sense, but like I just couldn't get the stairs to place properly. It just looked funny. It kind of blocked the whole aesthetic of the lot. So I was like, look, we'll just have these stairs around the side where it's a little bit more sort of conspicuous. Wait, what's the word? A little bit more incognito. Sorry, that's the word I was looking for. But yeah, so that's what we were sort of doing then. We've obviously spent a bit of time there just removing what was sort of going on with that weird deck thing they had. Like it was kind of odd, like it was like a lattice sort of deck, and I had to remove the flooring of the upper balcony and then just put flooring down because it was I had to remove the foundation and then because it was a foundation, it was really odd, and then add the flooring. So that was very confusing. The color palette for this build, I sort of wanted to make it a little bit more whiter and brighter, so that's why I'm going around here right now and adjusting the flower beds and adding in sort of the white trimming for the flower beds and that sort of stuff. I was toying up here with what sort of fence we wanted to use, and I think we ended up settling on that one, the one I just whipped out. But yeah, I was considering doing a bit of an Art Deco vibe, that sort of stuff, but then, I don't know, I think what we've gone with was good. And then I was also sort of toying up if I wanted to sort of leave little gaps and have the paling, like little fence paling things, but then I just thought, look, we'll have it all smooth. But then down the track, I do actually go back and, I don't know, what do you call them? Like legs? The fence, I don't know, you know what I'm talking about, because I needed to add in some lighting because obviously this community lot is not very well lit in the evening time, so you can only place them on like the little leg thing, so I had to I'm explaining this so badly, but I hope you get what I'm trying to say. I'll let you know when we get to that point. But yeah, I've adjusted the stairs around the place. Just had this nice white staircase. I thought was a good fit. What are we working on next? This is a very janky build in the sense that like I'm consistently jumping back and forth because like, I don't know, it was very weird. Like I didn't just finalize one area and then be like, yep, all done. Next area. It was like, oh yeah, I've got to quickly do this. Oh no, I've got to do that. It like really like, I don't know, it was giving like ADHD vibes. Maybe it was really on display today. Sorry guys. But yeah, no. So at the moment we're just adjusting the flooring, trying to make it a little bit lighter. We removed that really dark red brick that was on the internal walls. And I'm sort of just playing around a little bit now with what wallpaper we want to have. I was considering doing that sort of shadow lined wallpaper, which I quite like with the white. And it's got the shadow line in the architrave and also on like the wainscoting. But yeah, I think we ended up settling on, we can't see it now, I'll show you this in a sec, but it was basically the one with the wooden sort of wainscoting and the wooden architraves. I also toyed with the idea of updating the facade of the building to this white stucco instead of, originally it was like a fawn stucco, like that sort of like browny kind of color. This one, yeah, fawn stucco. We do actually end up changing it back towards the end of the video. So don't freak out that it stays white for a long time because it was just, what I ended up doing was I sort of did this speed build for about an hour and 20 minutes or whatever. And then I came back later in the evening with fresh eyes and sort of started adjusting a few things, which I think is a good way to do it because like I was getting to the point where I was a bit like feeling a bit mentally fried. So I was like, okay, well, I'll pause the video, turn my computer off, like come back to it a bit later. And then, yeah, I thought that was a good idea. So I ended up going back to the original sort of wallpaper, that I still added I still kept the white in some areas, but anyway, we'll see. I'll talk about that when we get to it. I was considering having that upper level there. Originally, it was going to be an extension of the outdoor seating for the cafe. And I thought, oh, well, you can sit either upstairs or downstairs, that kind of thing. So that's why we've got the spiral staircase going in there. It doesn't stay there though, because we end up turning that upper area with on the deck into like a cafe coffee sort of area. So that's going to have access from the gym. So the idea is that it's sort of like a part of the gym. So like the gym's got like a little patio area that we can have a barista there. That's sort of the vibe. And then downstairs is sort of the more formal. When I say formal, it's not really formal, but that's where you sort of get your food downstairs, and they're going to be like separate businesses kind of thing. That's sort of the vibe I'm going for. But yeah, so this is where we jump over to nighttime, just to make sure that the lot is going to be usable day and night, because I feel like a lot of the builds in Pleasantview, especially the community lots, don't really have much lighting, and when you go and visit them at night, like it's got a little bit, but like not much. And as you could see there, like none of the bathrooms and none of the downstairs area had any overhead lighting. There was some lamps downstairs, but yeah, overhead lighting needed to be added, so we've done that. Obviously, originally where that gym area was, that was a void originally, and then we've decided to sort of like, you know, make that an extension of the second story, which I was actually quite happy with. Also, I totally forgot that we have a door going here, so I do fix that. But I wanted to have in the gym area sort of like all mirrors, and we can have sort of equipment. That's kind of the vibe I go for. I feel like that's what a lot of people do in a lot of gyms. Have somewhere where you can, you know, see yourself working out. A lot of mirrors are utilised a lot in a lot of gym builds in real life. So I thought, look, we'll do that. And I thought it turned out really well at the end. But yeah, I do fix it up when I remembered that there's a door there. Currently, we're adding in some windows to the bathroom. I don't know if I've done it yet, but I do make the bathroom slightly smaller. Yeah, I haven't done it yet. And we do add some showers, because I kind of totally forgot that it's like, I don't know, this was a bit all over the place, but like I finished the bathrooms and I was like, wait a damn minute. Like we need to have somewhere to shower if it's a gym. Like that kind of just makes a bit more sense. But anyway, this is me spending like a solid like 5 minutes discovering all these new counters. Like I know they were there in the game, but like I always forget about them because you only can see them when you are on a community lot. So I was like, oh, which one do I want to go with? What's the sort of vibe where, you know, how do we make it team with the theme, all that sort of stuff. I think we end up going with this one here. I was just playing with all the recolors. And I like the fact that there's lights above it, because it doesn't show off that there's this weird sort of like matte kind of stenciling on the countertop, and you can't see it because the light above it glares so much, which actually kind of works out well. But yeah, so we're just sort of doing a front counter. This eventually does shift over as well when we do start doing the I guess, retail section, the clothing retail section. But that's towards the very end of the video. We end up shifting it over once we sort of finalize the layout of downstairs. Oh my God, sorry, I need to have a little bit of a cheeky water break. If you're watching, guys, stay hydrated. Upstairs now, I wanted to do some sort of like little reception area for the gym. And this was really hard because I was like, well, I don't really need a register. And then I considered placing that ticketing machine thing where you can pay to use the gym. But then I was like, I don't want to pay. I don't want my Sims paying to use the gym. Like, it's the Sims. Like, can't we just like go to the gym? So like I decided not to do that. And then I was trying to just use like normal desks and place a computer on, sorry, not desks, counters, and place a computer on them. And none of the computers were letting me place them on anything but a desk. So we end up doing a sort of half wall kind of desk vibe, and it ends up looking quite nice. I'm actually pretty happy with it. So this is where I remembered, oh yeah, a desk could probably work. So we just got a little plain desk and got our computer, and then yeah, use a half wall to sort of create like a little reception area, which I was actually quite happy with. I kind of didn't really think of that until the last second. So we love that. And I didn't want Sims sitting at this computer and using it. As selfish as that sounds, like I just didn't want to ruin the aesthetic. So I ended up just using that little bar stool, have the quarter tile placement sheet on and move objects on, and just placed it like really close, tucked under the computer desk so that no Sims would sort of use it. Here's where we're starting to place some of the gym equipment. So I wanted to sort of have one of each equipment available. So we've done the 3 treadmills there facing the mirrors. I also really wanted to place a punching bag, but like that's an unlockable item that comes as a part of I think it's like a career reward for the athletic career. And I'm kind of annoyed that we can't use it because like a punching bag would have really tied the aesthetic together. But anyway, it is what it is, as I said. But yeah, so we've done some little like the 3-in-1 exercise machines over there. And then as time goes on, we do shrink this bathroom area, and we do a little bit more of the remaining exercise machines. So we do some exercise bikes. And then I think we do one, because they have like a deconstructed 3-in-1 the machine thing. So there's like the press up one, and then there's like the leg lifting one, and then I think there's the pull up one. I don't know. So I did one of each of those. So the sort of main equipment got 3, the treadmill, the 3-in-1, and then the bike, and then the others just got one of each. So I thought that was a good way of doing it. I also kept the bathrooms just because I always get really confused with what bathrooms want when I'm playing the game. So I decided to keep them color-coded. So we've got a red door for the female one and a blue door for the male one. Obviously, I don't like playing into stereotypes, but like I just thought for the simplicity of the gameplay, I will get confused. So that's why I've done that. I could have done a unisex bathroom as well. I know that's really something that's quite common at the moment, which is really good. So that could be an option as well in the future to make it a little bit more easier. But for now, I've just kept the wallpaper red in the female one, or pinkish, and then it's blue in the male bathroom. I was struggle streeting here trying to place some stairs because I did want to replace the stairs with there were these weird kind of wrought iron ones. So I wanted to obviously, have the stairs team with the theme. It wouldn't let me place them. So I had to do some of the, it's so hard to explain, but those stairs, the ones that you can pick out and just place, not the ones that you can sort of do from like a foundation, if that makes sense. But yeah, we end up changing that one because I just realized it was a bit too Art Deco for the build, and I just wanted something really plain and simple. So we ended up going with this cheaper one, and I just did a cheeky little recolor there, and I thought it looked pretty good. This is, what are we doing now? Oh yeah, did a nice little half wall here. I think, yeah, we added some windows, which ended up being really nice because I found that this build in particular had literally like no natural light whatsoever. There were no windows, and it was really disappointing. So I'm really happy that we were able to just make it sort of feel flooded with natural light and all that good stuff. As you can see there, I've added one of each of those exercise machines there just in front of the bathrooms. And I also spend a hot minute here trying to pick out some like cabinets and counters for the bathrooms. We end up just going with, I think we just go with this one, this plain white one. Obviously I adjust them a little bit. We need to add a shower in as well at some point. But yeah, I also toyed with that option there and then wasn't quite happy with it. I just thought, look, it doesn't really fit the style that we're going for. So yeah, I think we went back to this one, which was nice. And then I did those things, which I thought looked quite luxe and sort of a bit contemporary, all that jazz. I also made sure all the doors were opening the right way so that Sims wouldn't get stuck and all that stuff. So yeah, here's where I was like, oh yeah, a gym probably needs a shower. So yeah, we added a shower room in, which I actually think like will serve its purpose. So it's in a separate room with a door. So Sim's not going to have like the, everyone get out of the room, I'm trying to shower kind of thing. So it was a bit tricky in the male bathroom because obviously we've got the 2 urinals. So I think I ended up shifting the doorway. We'll get to it. Yeah, here. I shifted the doorway and moved the urinals into this section. And then I think I used quarter tile placement to sort of make them on that little sort of L-shaped bit. And then I was struggling here what way to orient the shower. I think we ended up just doing it, in line with the staircase there, which I thought was quite nice. And we obviously removed the windows that were sort of intersecting and everything. I did also toy here with turning it around so that we could still get some natural light. But then I was like, no, that's going to just like be in my way in the gameplay, and I think it just looks so much better pressed up against the wall. So yeah, I did think about getting some natural light in there. I think we were able to keep one window here in the male one, but the female one unfortunately doesn't have a window. But I was like, you know what, it's The Sims, like who cares, honestly. I was considering doing some medicine cabinets here too, just for like storage. Like maybe we'll have like, just some essentials, like some soaps, some deodorant, stuff like that, because it's a gym. But then I thought, you know what, they'll have that in the counters, like in the cabinetry and stuff. So I was like, we'll just have our little favorite mirror that we always go with. And then I think I do come back towards the end of the video and adjust the flooring as well, because I kind of forgot about the flooring. I think we're about to start the cafe area now, which I actually was quite happy with the kitchen area of the cafe. And I know what you're thinking, that's kind of random because like I don't know, you'd think that the patio area would be the best bit, but like I was quite happy with the way that I sort of made it look like a bit of a industrial / commercial kitchen. I don't know. I was quite happy with that. I sort of tried to keep it very stark white. And then I used some like really light grey counters, and it just, I don't know, it was very symmetrical. We'll get to it, but I was quite happy with how it ended up turning out. And this area just outside of the kitchen, I wanted this to sort of be like, it's like obviously kind of behind the like little, like, check-in counter thing. We have a sort of staff area where like, staff can store like napkins or like, utensils, whatever, that sort of stuff. And then this was sort of where they can line up. So they're going to enter through the main sort of entry where the clothing store is, and then sort of come line up. We do add some seating as well, just on that main sort of veranda where the entry to the clothing store is. There's where I do that little utensil kind of station thing there. But I thought it was quite nice. So like the idea is you sort of enter from there and then sort of exit from the sort of stairs on the patio, if that makes sense. But Sims don't ever follow that rule, so like I think everyone will just be doing a bit of whatever, but that's kind of the idea that I had. And I wanted this to sort of be like one of those doors that can kind of swing open either way, like a very sort of like kitchen industrial kind of like sort of door, like, yeah. So that's sort of the vibe we're going for. Here's the cabinetry that we've done. I really do love these cabinets. They're one of the cabinets that I used to use so much when I was playing The Sims as a kid. And then I did this sort of like, I thought this could be like a little industrial sort of fridge. The idea of putting the door there as well, so that I'll lock this so that Sims no one's going to go in here, because, or like lock for employees only. I don't know. I feel like any Sims will just go in here, which is kind of annoying. But I don't want random people going in there and just buying stuff. I just thought that could be where they store like, the ingredients to make all of the, cafe meals and stuff. I wanted to have 2 bins and then 2 dishwashers, but that didn't quite work. So I decided to have 2 sinks in the middle. I thought that was quite successful as well. I think we end up adding some range hoods and also some like pots and pans and stuff like that in a moment as well. And yeah, I was quite happy with it. We ended up doing like a nice white tiled wall. It was giving like public bathroom tile vibes, but like I actually thought it worked really well in the commercial kitchen. Yeah, that's the sort of vibe. I don't know. It's like so basic, but like I just really liked it. It just made me feel excited. So this is where we sort of toy a little bit with the flooring that we want to use out here. I don't know if this is when we actually full get into it, because like this is where we full get into it. I kept changing it constantly. Like I was whipping out all these really nice patterned floorings that usually don't work, but I thought they're really working in this build. So we end up settling on a nice floral one that I'll show you at the end. But yeah, like I think in this sort of, because the building was quite white, everything was sort of a bit blank, I thought, I just needed a little bit of like something a bit extra. I think we end up going with this one. Yeah, I was really, really happy with it. I don't know. It's just, you wouldn't think it would look nice, but it was sort of, it just added that little bit of extra zest. I don't know. I really was quite happy with the flooring choice that we did. But yeah, as you can see, a lot of them were all working. Like I was like very tossing up. I was like, well, a lot of these are actually looking pretty good. But I was happy with the choice we made in the end. But yeah, here's me still going. I thought tiles, but then I was like, bruh, in real life, like, I don't know. I just feel like it would get really slippery. And like I wanted this to sort of be like more of a stone kind of vibe. I think we end up changing the flooring in there to white into the industrial kitchen as well. And then, oh yeah, we went into nighttime now and sort of just add in a little bit more lighting. See what I mean about how I'm jumping all over the place, just doing all these weird things? Very quirky of me. And then here I did a little bit of a hack. I made this inside just so I could place some overhead lighting, and then obviously removed those walls that we just added. I thought that was a little bit, you know, in my hacking era, so we loved that. And then I was picturing here just some sort of like utensil stuff, like some salt and pepper, some little canisters and stuff like that. It wouldn't let me add too much. Like I wanted to add a few more things, but the snapping wasn't working. See, I was trying to add something else, but it just wasn't working, which is a bit annoying. But I also did delete the salt and pepper thing. I did see that. I go back and add that in a little while. This is where I kind of had that realization that, oh yeah, I really wanted to have a coffee area, but like this is giving like cafe vibes. So I think this is where we decide that we want to turn the upstairs area into like a dedicated coffee zone. And I think it makes sense because obviously, you know, you might have your morning workout sort of thing, and then you're going to go and have a bit of a coffee. So I thought that made a bit of sense. So I was quite happy with that. We do end up doing this ends up being covered in towards the very end of the video. I end up extending the roof, and I was quite happy with, anyway, I'll show you when it gets to it because I was quite happy with it. I'm sort of wanting to go for some sort of mismatched tables out here. I don't want it to sort of be all the same table. I wanted to go for a little bit of sort of like an eclectic vibe. Originally, I wanted to use all of that wrought iron table, the circular one, and then obviously that dining table one, but it wouldn't let me adjust the legs of the dining table one to white, and I wanted white tables. So I was like, you know what? I got a bit confused here, and I was trying to like whip out so many different tables and nothing was really working. So that's when I decided that, you know, we'll go a bit mismatched, and we end up doing like a really cool bench seat with like a booth kind of seating, which I was really happy with, and like a low coffee table, sort of giving like beer garden vibes, which I do quite a lot on this channel. I remember we did a Sims 3, we did like a little beach house renovation in the Sims 3, and I did like I was so happy with the sort of like pub, like what do you call it, beer garden area that we did. We end up changing this to the actual booth seating, but honestly, like I quite like the sectional sofa that we've whipped out there. Yeah, so I don't know, just sort of fun seating like that sort of, in real life, obviously you could sit and have a meal there, but in the Sims won't do that. But like Sims can still sit there and have a bit of a, you know, chat or a hangout, which I thought was a little bit of fun. We do end up changing some of those wrought iron tables there to have little different patterns and be a bit unique, which I thought was good. And then what do we do now? Oh yeah, I think we pick some chairs. I don't think we go with all the wrought iron chairs. I'm pretty sure for the dining tables, we end up just going with like a white sort of wooden chair, which was something a bit different. So like I thought I could have all the same chair, or I could sort of try and mix it up a bit. But yeah, we thought we'd go for the latter and mix it all up. But I did decide to match them in that sense that obviously, like, you know, the table and chairs match like the pattern and style, if that made sense. So yeah, I was pretty happy with how this is all turning out. It is a little bit visually a lot, and I do acknowledge that because obviously we've got a really busy flooring and then we've got busy tables. So I feel like maybe in hindsight that wasn't a very good idea. I probably should have had a lighter flooring and like less busy flooring and then busy tables, or vice versa. But anyway, we just thought we'll do something very exciting. I mean, before it was very bland. So yeah, we did these. These are the chairs. They're the wooden chairs. Sorry for the camera jumping all over the place here. This is where I realized that you can only place the little lanterns on the bits with the poles. So that's when I sort of go back and sort of start making some more poles, if that makes sense. And then, yeah, I was quite happy with how that all sort of worked out. I was sort of toying with having the lighting from up above there, and I just didn't quite look right because the roof was sort of cutting it off. This is me trying to, oh, cheeky save there. It's important. This is me trying to click on that fence. That took me way too long. But yeah, see, we've got some more lanterns here, which I thought was important so that it could look nice and lit up in the evening if you wanted to go have a little bit of a cheeky dinner. We do just some plain, simple, like that table here. I don't know how to describe that. A plain little patio table up here for the cafe area. And then we do, some sort of seating in the L-shaped corner, like sort of like lounge seating, but it's like outdoor lounge seating. So I was quite happy with that as well. I toyed with the idea of using the booth seating up there, but it didn't quite work. But this is where we change over the booth seating down here. And I thought that looked good. It did take up a little bit more of a footprint though, unfortunately, which was kind of annoying, but it was way too bulky up here. It was such a small balcony. I was like, no, we can't do that. So I think I ended up, I was sort of playing around with having like a little sort of like bench there, like a little bit of like an outdoor bench. And then I was like, no, I think we need to just sort of try and find an outdoor sofa. The one we go with is just sort of the one that I use quite a lot, the sort of wooden textured one with a nice cushion. Yeah, it's that one. And then obviously the matching 2-seater one. And then we just do sort of like a little park picnic table thing as like the side table. And I thought that looked kind of cool. So I was pretty happy with it. I think we end up removing one of the tables because it was very cluttered up here. So I think we end up doing a table on the back wall and then a table on the fence line as well. So I do sort of adjust them because I realized that, oh yeah, this is a bit hectic. Like I don't think Sims are going to have the best time sort of routing around there. So yeah, we've pushed that table into there and then we've got still sort of like enough to sit sort of 6 people on those tables, which is pretty good. This is where we change over to, I've had a bit of a break now. And I decided that I really wanted to add some sort of flower beds under a lot of the windows because I thought this build has a lot of really nice gardens. Like they've got the sort of, don't know what happened to the recording there. They've got all the little sort of white flowers in the existing garden beds. And I thought, you know what? Like, I really want to do something like that. So I was toying here because it wouldn't let me do the foundation. Obviously, around the back was too close to the edge of the lot. So I toyed with doing like a garden bed. But see that type of garden bed. But I really wanted the raised garden bed. So we end up just sort of stopping it as we sort of get too close to the edge of the lot. And I think it works because like obviously you're going to be playing from a certain angle. It still has that impact. So I thought I was pretty happy with it. Anyway, so this is where we're just sort of tiling the garden beds here. We do end up deciding on some really nice yellow flowers for the garden bed too with your Merry Marigolds here because the original retail space was very yellow. And I wanted to sort of pay homage to that. And I was like, you know what? I think that's a nice way to sort of pay homage to it. Yeah, this is where we delete this. I'm like, nope, not happy with it. We go back to our nice raised garden bed, which I think was actually a really good decision because I think it looks really nice, especially if you're dining in that little outdoor patio there, looking really nice. And then we just obviously copy all of the painting over and add the same flowers. And yeah, it just makes it feel really cozy. It's almost like giving Storybrooke kind of vibes, if that makes sense. But like, I don't know, it just seems really like lush and almost Mediterranean. Like, I don't know, it's just a mix of a lot of styles. And I just really liked the flowers. I thought they really tied it together. This is where I decided that the roof was just too basic. And I was like, you know what? It might be nice to have an overhead sort of roofed section here. So we end up doing this instead of having full sort of like columns. We did the sort of walls on the sort of L shape there. And it actually turned out, I was really happy with how this turned out. So obviously I'll put some ceiling down and then we've just removed those little walls we've added. And I think we end up just doing, some ceiling lights if we want to go up in the evening or for a bit of extra light. And then I do end up doing the roofing that's got the sort of, I don't know, how do you describe I actually don't know how to describe the thing, but it's got the... It's got the pointy roof, but it's like, it's got the, you know what I'm trying to say? It's got the pitch there. But yeah, so I don't know how to describe that. But yeah, this is where we decided to go back to the fawn stucco. And I decided to leave the sort of like pitched bit white. And I thought it looked really cool. So I was pretty happy with that. We ended up moving the lighting up higher and I actually thought that looked really nice. So we ended up leaving that. And I think we also do the white detailing on the front of the build as well when we get around to it. I think we add that now. Here we go. And I was quite happy with that as well. I thought it just added a little bit of interest, a little bit of detail, and just made it a little bit nicer. So the idea with these flower boxes, obviously it's not symmetrical to that space in that sense. It's just, I wanted it to exactly mimic the windows. It's almost like little flower boxes for the windows. So that's why that side over there was a little bit more not symmetrical, if that makes sense. We end up, this is where I was trying to pick like a nice sign and I was like, some of the signs were in like the decorative category, and then some of the signs were in like the miscellaneous category. It was very confusing. They don't even have like a little like restaurant sign, unless I've completely missed that, but I couldn't find it. So that was kind of annoying. I also really wanted to have a nice fountain. I was like, you know what? This needs a fountain. I said all the flowers is giving fountain vibes. So we end up deciding to add a fountain in and replace this sort of maple tree that we've got here. And I think I just added it over to the side because it's sort of more part of the lot now. There's an entrance over there, I guess. But yeah, we end up keeping the flooring out here basically the same, the little discrete concrete. And then this is where I was trying to get the scale right. I wanted to have sort of flower beds wrapping around the water feature and the fountain. So I was really happy with how it all turned out. We add obviously the flower beds back in, and I think I also add a lot of lighting too, which I think takes it to the next level. So I think we'll get to that in a moment. But for now, I'm just adding some little park benches around just for people to sit. I was sort of thinking I wanted to have them sort of near the fountain or like facing away from the fountain, but then I was like, that doesn't make any sense. We need to have it facing the fountain. Also, I just realized I have my headphones on right now. I don't actually need them on, so I'm going to take them off. I don't know, I had them on because when I was filming this, I turned on the Sims music because normally I have the music muted when I'm playing The Sims and recording The Sims. I had the music playing and it was so nice and nostalgic to listen to The Sims 2 like build and buy music. It was very fun. I just have to remember to turn it off before I start recording. We added a nice little seating area there with some nice flowers, like those little like wrought iron planters near the entry there. I thought that looked really good. And I also wanted to make this a little bit more sandy. I don't know, so I just added like some nice sand there. I thought that was the appropriate sort of terrain to have for the swing set that we've got going. And I also decided to add a little bench here that we can sort of wait. If you call a taxi, I don't know. I was just sort of thinking like it could be a nice little addition to have. And I think we also add a few more of the street lights in a moment too. I just realized we hadn't really done any lighting over in that side of the build. So I do agree that that entry to the gym is a little bit disjointed in the sense that like it doesn't really feel a part of the main entrance, but I also kind of like that. I kind of feel like it's because the upstairs gym area is just very separate. So that's why I kind of like it. But yeah, I don't know. I could have just not done that whole side entrance and just had them enter through the retail space. But I just thought, I don't know, I don't really want people going up there from that way. But I felt we needed to leave the staircases because I was like, people need to go to the bathroom and from like the cafe or from the retail space. So you do kind of have to walk through a bit of everything if you want to go to the bathroom. So I don't know, it doesn't really make sense. But anyway, added some more street lighting here and some street lamp posts. I thought that looked really, really good. I think we might be starting the retail space now. I did wish I could just recolor those wall speakers, but the different colors are for a different genre of music. So like, anyway, I just did the white one because it looked the nicest. But I think it's like happy shopping music or something. So I was like, oh, perfect. And I decided to use the H&M racks that came with H&M fashion stuff pack. It was kind of annoying because like half of for example, like the change rooms and stuff, they were like in a I don't know. I just kind of wanted all of the clothing retail stuff together in one category somewhere, but like it was just really hard. Like I had to sort of go to the H&M collection to find all of this stuff, and then like see the best way I got it here was in the main original section in miscellaneous. And I was like, okay, look, that's kind of good. We've got like a good array of stuff, but then it's missing some of the H&M stuff like the t-shirt tables and stuff. So I don't know. But this category here had majority of it, so I was pretty happy with it. But anyway, I really liked that change booth that, I don't know if you can see it out of the corner of the camera there. But the only weird thing is it has a security camera thing on top, which I really don't like. But like, I really liked that change room. So we ended up going with that for the build. But I was not happy with the random security camera. I also thought some vending machines up here would be a good idea. Like obviously you've been to the gym, maybe they'll have like gym snacks in there, like, you know, your protein bars and your up and go proteins, all that fun stuff. And that was kind of the idea with that. I did really want to add this gadget kiosk in as well, just for sort of like simplicity and like for the ease of gameplay, because like I always feel like I need to buy my Sim cell phones and all that sort of stuff, but it just did not fit with the style of this build, so we end up removing it. But like, I don't know, I'll add it into one of the builds. Originally we were going to do the change room sort of like in a galley style, like have all of the changing areas up the back, and then at the front we're going to have a lot of mirrors. But then the problem with that is that the mirrors are going to be up during gameplay, and I was like, okay, well, that's really annoying. And then obviously it was still really cramped. Like, see, if it's only too wide like that, it's just very cramped, and I can just see Sims getting stuck. And I was like, you know what, this is just not working. Not happy with it at all. So we end up changing it. I did toy with extending it, and like it still just wasn't quite looking right, because I wanted to do those full length mirrors, and I was like, no, it's going to be up in when I'm trying to play, like really annoying. So end up going back, and I thought, oh, we'll just do like a little mirror in the corner here, and I was like, yeah, no, the routing is going to be the big problem. So and I didn't want to have it open. It just felt weird to have open. Like, I don't know, you want the change rooms to be sort of private and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, that's kind of the idea behind scrapping that area. So we end up scrapping that and end up moving it over to this wall. And I was actually really happy with how the layout turned out in this retail space, because it was quite hard to sort of figure out the layout, but I think we did a pretty good job. So we end up changing those mirrors as well to the full length ones, and I couldn't figure out what to do with that little one tile under the stairs. So I ended up just extending it and putting the fridge from the commercial kitchen space into there. I thought that was a good idea. We toyed around with doing some archways. I'm pretty sure we end up just opening it up fully, but like it still feels private. So like, if that makes sense, I don't know. It's still like, obviously there's still windows there, but also it is The Sims. So like I didn't stress too much about it. I kind of liked having it a bit more open. This is where I sort of am trying to find the H&M collection. I'm like, where's, like, I know there was like those little t-shirt tables and like the wall stuff, and then yeah, I found it. So we end up whipping out a few things, and I wanted to do some mannequins in the windows, because I mean, like, that's very stereotypical, you know, retail clothing store kind of vibes. So yeah, we end up sort of realizing that, yeah, we've got to just finalize this layout because it's getting confusing. And we end up just removing out all of the old sort of like seating area that was here. And then that's when I sort of decided that, you know what, I think I'm going to move the counter over here, because that way it's sort of like the first thing you see when you come through. And I thought that was sort of a bit more of a visual marketing or visual merchandising kind of hack, as they say. No, I just thought it looked a bit better and a little bit more simple. I end up doing this painting because Dina Caliente owns this lot. And obviously, the Caliente sisters had a little bit to do with Bella's disappearance, and we're going a little bit more into the drama in this Pleasantview Let's Play. Dina was married to Mortimer, and Mortimer like passed away. So that's the idea. I thought it was a little bit of a jab to put that painting in, and a little bit of like a, hey, like I've done all of this. And like, I don't know, it was a bit like sly to include a picture of Bella, even though it wasn't actually, I don't think it's actually Bella, but it looks like Bella. So I don't know. I thought that was a little bit of a bit of cheeky lore, you know, including that for a bit of fun. And yeah, I did end up recoloring those t-shirt tables, and it's giving like Uniqlo vibes. I don't know if you guys have a Uniqlo, like in wherever you guys are watching this from. We've got one in Australia and near my area, and I love Uniqlo so much. But yeah, the t-shirts there was just giving like Uniqlo vibes. I thought about doing the mannequins on that side set of windows, but then I was like, you know what? No, I want to do it on the main set of windows. And it sort of filled that space there quite well. So I was quite happy with it. I was thinking of doing 2 sets of racks here. So as you can see, I've sort of doubled them up. I was going to do like that would be all female clothing. And then just a bit closer, I would do the same thing with male clothing, but it was just too much. And I was like, okay, this is not quite working. The layout's not quite right. You can see me here trying to sort of do it. And you can see what I sort of envisioned, but I mean, we could have done it, but like it was just a bit overkill. So yeah, this is me sort of playing around with how to make this work. I think we end up doing vertical the way that it's like this, but we end up doing 1 rack on either side, so there's like a little gap in between. So I think we sort of get to that now, and I had a lot of fun going through and sort of like coloring all of them as well and making them sort of a little bit different, so it looked nice. And you know, I was also trying to figure out if I could put anything cool in the middle there, and it just wasn't working. And I was like, yeah, no, we'll just leave it sort of open, nice and open. Systems can sort of have no issues routing, because they do have a lot of issues with that. And yeah, so the one side is for the dudes and the other side is for the ladies, as they say in the little descriptions. And obviously, as you can see there, I changed up all the colors. I was thinking of having like some little seats in there, and I was like, no, like that's a walkway, Baden. So we end up removing that. And then I think we also end up changing this t-shirt area up against the windows in a moment. We end up doing some really nice lounges in their place, which sounds weird at the moment, but like I'm really happy with how it all comes together. So I'll show you guys that in a moment. This is where I was trying to sort of figure out where to put the wall hanging stuff because I really wanted to include that. I thought it looked really cool. I also am kind of annoyed there isn't a female one. It's only male. So like I kind of, unless I couldn't find it in the categories, but could not find a female one. I guess maybe they're unisex, I don't know, but it looks more like masculine clothing. So that's kind of annoying. But anyway, I went really into the yellow theme in this build, as you can tell. Into this retail space. So yeah, we've got 2 lounges here I was sort of tossing up, and I was like, I think I'm going to go with the yellow one. And we ended up doing a sort of back-to-back sort of thing, which I'll show you guys in just a moment. And I thought it looked really, really nice. Yeah, there we go. Nice little back-to-back lounges. I also toyed with the idea of having a little table or something next to it, but it just didn't quite look right. So I just decided to leave it as the lounges. Obviously, I'm using quarter tile placement as well to sort of place those. Sort of thought we might extend that wall there just so there's a bit more privacy from the gym area and the stairs. And then obviously added in a little bit more of the sort of wall merchandising there as well. We've gone down and added the full-length windows, which I was really, mirrors, which I was really happy with as well. And then we're sort of playing around with lighting. I sort of wanted to include this light, but then it just was too bulky because it came with the H&M pack, but I was like, yeah, no, it doesn't quite look right. So we ended up scrapping that. And then I think we go in and add some little trees in the corner there. And then I toyed with the idea of what to put in that little L-shaped bit in the entry. And I think we just add another lot of clothing racks from memory. And I was quite happy with how that turned out. So it's sort of like there's distinct zones. So I could pretend that like that's a different zone with, different types of clothing and stuff. So I don't know. I was pretty happy with it. And I'm just sort of recoloring all that stuff now. I don't know how much longer this has even got. I think we go through and add a little bit of detail in. We do some little seating there. So if you're waiting to be seated, hydration break. Sorry, guys. You can sort of sit down there if you're waiting to be seated. That was sort of the idea there. I sort of spread out the register layout there as well. That looked a bit nicer. And I thought it'd be a good idea to bring it a bit closer so there's a bit more room away from the register. So I think now we're just sort of going around and adding a little bit of detail. I'm sort of just going around and just sort of making sure I haven't missed anything. How much longer has this video got? 2 more minutes. Sorry. Sorry to bring up the little overlay there. It's kind of annoying. But I just wanted to see how much longer we've got. Yeah, we're sort of going around here and adding, I wanted to add somewhere for people to sit after they've done their workout or whatever, or, if you're waiting for someone to, vacate the machine or whatever. So I put some little lounges there and I thought that was quite nice. I think we end up getting another plant in that space there instead. And then I just put, that custom content phone book looked really good there. I thought it could look like files or something. So we end up doing that. And I wanted a clock in the gym because I feel like everyone has a clock. Oh, you know what we should have added? We really should have added some TVs. That's kind of annoying. I probably will add that in gameplay because I just realized then a TV would have been a really good idea. Pop the MTV on while you're trying to do your workout and all that jazz. Sorry, I just really quickly had to pause that for a sec. Someone was at the door. I also decided to add in some fans. I thought that was a really good idea for the gym area in particular, and then the outdoor area as well with the cafe. I thought that was quite nice. So the fans I thought would be a necessity in a gym space. And then we update the flooring right at the end here. And I thought that looked quite nice. I don't think there's much else. I think I was honestly pretty happy with everything at this point. I think, we end up doing some little windows there, which I was quite happy with. So there's still got a bit of privacy for the gym, but you can still get a bit of light in that space as well. And there's a random dark corner there, so I decided to put a light. But that's pretty much the build. I think we go and maybe add one last little bit of detail there, a nice little flower pot. And then I'm sort of looking around, seeing if there's anything else I want to add or change. And I was like, you know what? I'm pretty chuffed with this. So I think that is all done now. So I'll just bring up a screenshot for us to do our little outro. Oh, jokes, there's a little bit more. We're adding some speakers. So I thought it was done. But I realized we hadn't painted those interior walls there either. But Yeah, that's it. All right, let me bring up our little screenshot. So I thought we would just jump into the game and show off the finished build, the screenshot that I took. I need to figure out how to take like better quality screenshots. I don't know, but they were very blurry and I was like, yeah, no. But anyway, so this is the final build here. So on that note, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure you have, if you have any comments or suggestions, make sure you leave them down below. Remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And make sure you check out our Pleasantview Let's Play if you are interested in seeing this build being used in action, because we're obviously going to be playing in that whole save and that whole series and trying to really do a lot of our storytelling from some of the community lots and everything like that. So that's why I thought it'd be really nice for us to update this build in particular. Alrighty, so on that note, guys, I hope you all have a lovely day and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye, everyone.